All right, good morning, boys and girls. We're going to get started catching a little bait this morning. I'm going to drag some crankbaits down through here with the trolling motor. We're going to run about 1.3 to 1.6 miles an hour and see if we can't catch some perch. We did the last time we were out. We caught a few, and we may end up going to catch some more brim before the morning's over with. We're going to try to do this very quickly. We want to get that morning catfish bite. Try to. Sometimes it works out and sometimes it don't. But I'll show you what we're going to do here. We're going to put out 5 poles and drag them down through the creek and see what happens. It's early morning, late part of July. The weather's hot, been rainy. We've had a lot of rain, a couple storms come through. A lot of people got down trees and everything, but we took a day off to go fishing. Let the garden rest. The garden about to get the best of us, good and bad. It's not been the best year for our garden, but it is what it is. So let's get started here. And what we do, let's get a few poles out of the way. Got a few already with crankbaits on it. We're gonna get them tossed out and see what happens. And like I said, it's early morning, very early. Sunrise just coming up. We're gonna get started. Don't mess around and get a hook in the hand. And some people don't care to see about the bait situation, and I can understand that. But some people like to see you catch bait. Back when I was guiding, had a few people that wanted to see how that process was done and everything. So here we go. And getting back to the guiding situation, we'll talk about that later on. Get these things untangled and they had 5 poles together here. And you know how that is when you put 5 poles together with crankbaits. Hooks everywhere. And that's one thing to remember about fishing with crankbaits. They do have hooks. A lot of hooks. So be careful. Don't get them in your hand. Because they can be pretty tough to get out sometimes. Was fishing with a friend one day and he done that. We had quite an ordeal to get that hook out of his hand. Thought we was gonna end up having to take him to the hospital to get it done. But he was tough. He hung in there while I pulled on it. He said I was liking that too well, but that's another story. Another day. It's a pretty morning. Supposed to be a little bit warmer today than it was yesterday, a little bit. Let me get this trolling motor going. And here we go. Not a hard technique to get down, just getting your crankbaits out and trying not to lose a crankbait, which that happens sometimes. gonna happen to lose one. And that one right there, I call it the perch killer. That thing right there will catch some perch. They love it. So let's hope they love it today. They're gonna be pretty much moving water all day today. Get some of these poles out of the way where I won't trip over them. Break a pole. All right, we're starting. Let's see what happens. Let's get this bait tank set up here. Hopefully we can get some bait in that tank. Go catch a big catfish, maybe a monster today. That would be good. And for the ones that get to see this video, if you would like it, share it, check the notification, do all the bell things, I would gladly appreciate it. We got a lot of trash on the water this morning. They moving that water from one lake to the other. Air has a little coolness to it this morning. I hope everybody enjoys these videos. I'm gonna try to do one a week. If I may get a chance to do two some weeks. But being old, the wife is old, I'm old. We do have doctor's appointments, at least maybe one a week or so we have to take care of that too. But we'll work it out. We'll get everything took care of. All right, we're moving about 1.6, 1.7 miles an hour. The fish finder there is showing a pile of fish. And it may not be perch, it could be brim. Who knows? Just small looking fish. So. I know in the background you're gonna see a lot of houses and stuff. Lake Gaston has houses on top of houses. There's no end to it. You would think one day that there would be a stopping point, but no, not on Lake Gaston. That's why I'm out here early, because trying to beat the jet skis and the wakeboard boats, but you know, everybody has their place. Usually they don't get cranked up till about 10 o'clock. There may be a couple of people that ski early in the morning right at daylight. It's not every morning, but most of the time there'll be one out here. And I try to stay out of their way and they try to stay out of mine. They're pretty respectful about that. I do give them credit about that. Especially one. He sees me out here, he slows down, He tries not to be pulling anybody when he comes by me. So I thank him. Wish everybody was that way, but not everybody's that way. And if you see me keep turning around, what I'm trying to do is watch these poles and talk to you, and I want you to see the poles back there. I got 4 out right now. I'm gonna put one more out. And hopefully everything goes well today. It is fishing, not catching. If it was catching, I'd already have some. We do have one hump coming up that goes all the way across this creek. Have to be careful there because that's a place to lose a crankbait. I've lost 2 or 3 on that hump. But there's usually a fish there that wants to bite. I see somebody down the lake, like I was talking about, getting an early start. Let's get one more crankbait out. See if we can get something going here. All right, boys and girls, finally got this thing untangled enough to get it out. Let's see what it'll do. I'm manually working this trolling motor this morning. I didn't really set a course to. Showing some fish on this depth finder that might be catfish. A couple nice fish there. If you never pulled crankbaits before, you ought to give it a try. It can be fun, especially crappie fishing. It's slowed down a little bit as far as the bite here in the creeks. May need to get out on the main lake and pull some crankbaits. When I get out on the main lake, that's when I'm gonna pull the deep diving ones. These that I have on now are diving anywhere from 3 to 8 feet deep. You throw a 30-foot one out here that go down to about 30 foot, you're gonna lose it quick. That's why I have a couple of them on that hump that we're getting close to that runs across the creek here, because they dive a little too deep. Now early spring, you pull crankbaits through here, you will catch a ton of bass. We're right down the middle of this creek, and the bass will be here. Maybe spotted bass, but could be largemouth. Have caught a couple good catfish doing this. Caught one on down here by where the highway's at that I'm glad he came off, because he was about to tear my little rigs up. Because I had 8-pound test line and a little ultralight reel, and he was a man. All right, well, looks like we're coming to the hump here. Maybe we'll pick something up. It's nothing but a brim. I've caught a few brim on them crankbaits, and that's surprisingly. The brim won't hit a crankbait that size. All right, I'll get back with you in just a few minutes. Oh. Oh, we got a bite. We got a bite. So he thought he wanted to bite it, changed his mind. Oh, there we go. There's one. Finally got something. Oh yeah, boys and girls, look at here. Oh, he came off. That does happen sometimes. Sure does. I can get this line undone here. This is the first time this old rod here, I broke this rod out of the dust yesterday. Bought this rod back in the 80s. And I thought I'd give it a try. That might have been a bass, I'm not sure. I think it was, and that's a new crankbait right there. There's what we got right there. That's right there at that hump that I'm talking about. There's always one around that hump of something. I think that was a bass though. I hope everybody can see good. I'm trying to stay to the side, let you look out the back there, see the poles. And some asked about the boat here. It's a pontoon boat. It's a 20-foot pontoon boat. It did have the curved seat and the changing room and all, but you know, I wanted a boat that I could walk from one end to the other without anything being in the way. And that's what I got. It took me a while. We changed things around, and it's not a speed demon by no means. Some folks would call it Grandpa's boat, and that's right, it's Grandpa's boat. It's not a speed demon. I didn't want a speed demon. I just wanted one that was very dependable, would get me from point A to point B. And I got it like I wanted it. Rod holders in the back, rod holders in the front. And we've shifted weight around, changed the prop on the motor, and I think we've done pretty good. When I first bought this boat, it ran about 16 miles an hour. We're at about 19.3 with just me. A couple other people get on here, we run about 18. So we gained a couple miles an hour, and which that's doing pretty good for a 50 horsepower motor. It took some changing around and stuff, but we got it done. The motor has been very dependable. It's a boat motor. So if you own a boat, you know that problems come along, and you get to be friends with the mechanic or try to do it yourself. I like trying to do it myself if I can, and you'll see in some videos, and which probably later on in this video I'm going to show you a couple things that I make myself. You can buy them, and they may be even better than what I make, but I make them, and I make them a little cheaper, but the point is, though, I made it, and they work. They work very good for me, and that's what counts. All right, we got one look like it's dragging some trash. Let me check on it. Yes, we done picked up a piece of trash here. Like I said, there's a lot of trash out here floating this morning. They move in water. All right. We may have to go catching brim. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time doing this, which I like doing it, but seems like it's going to be a little slow this morning. And who knows, the brim bite could be slow. Sometimes it gets slow. But we're going to try it for just a little bit longer. Maybe we can find that spot, catch a couple. Now the sun's coming up. Well, boys and girls, I'll get back with you. We're going to make a few changes here, and I'll get back with you in just a few minutes. All right, boys and girls, been a while, but it looks like we finally got one on. Let's see what we got. much to it. I can tell you that now. Not much. Unless it's changing his mind. Oh, we got another one here too. That one hit it, we just didn't get it. That's not a bad fish. Not bad at all. Wound up worse than a Timex watch. Let me cut this trolling motor off for a minute. I thought we were going to have another one. Maybe not. Alright, let me get the hook out of this one. See what we got here. Yeah. Here we go, boys and girls. Not a bad fish. They're all good, it don't matter. But we're gonna put it back, hope for another one. I didn't even have to pray for another one the way they've been biting today, because it's been slim pickings. Well, boys and girls, that's the first time I've done that. I was needing a new pair, but I would have liked to kept them. That thing swam off with my pliers. So, that's another $15, $18. That's the first time that's happened. That fish was wound up though. Man. Joker had ate his Cheerios this morning. Alright, get these poles baited back up and get them back out there and see what happens. Maybe we find another one. It took a while. Yes, yes, let's get this pole baited back up. Got some good old brim this time. Now that's a really dark purple one there. Ought to be good for a flathead. I ain't believing I let that fish swim off with my pliers. But I did. Somebody else to catch it, say thank you. be all right. Like the wise man said, it'll be all right. The wise man says it's got to be so. Okay. All right. Need another one. Need another taker. I don't need another one to take my pliers though, because I ain't got one more of them pliers. Had them pliers for years. They're just made out of plastic. Buy them at Walmart and most bait stores. Be good to have. That fish had, boy, he's wound up. Uh-huh. That one, thought he wanted it. Yeah, buddy. Getting hot out here, boys and girls. Getting hot.